Hello, Mr. Nygren here. Welcome to GreatSea War, an expansion of Hyrule War, but it's just a demo, custom battle demo. Fight another battle between the Moblin Settlers or the Oceanblins versus the Empire of Bellum. These are their units. The Empire of Bellum has quite a large roster, but it's mostly the River Zora from Hyrule War, and they have some armor upgrades. It's their own units. Former heroes of the River Zora have been made into their own units. Like the Cyclops Q of Bellum is based on the hero Gerudo Khan from the River Zora. The hero Geosard Knights of Bellum are based on King Sarusef, in essence River Knights with golden armor, while the River Knights themselves wear armored Geosards. So this unit is an unarmored River Knight, and this is an armored River Geosard, and this just has a golden armor instead of this like grey armor. Okay, and then we have also the Cobble Dragoons of Bellum. So in essence armored versions of the Cobble Dragoons. We have the Cobble Dragoons and Cobble Dragoons of Bellum. The difference is that one is armored. Then we have the Cobble Outrunners, armored Outrunners, mounted Outrunners. They do not have any armor, and they throw javelins at enemies. And we have the Big Octo Siege platforms, the Big Octo battle platforms of the Zora, but they do have River Zora mounted on them here. We have the Mage Cannon, but it's not part of the battle, and we have the Big Octo Riders of Bellum. They are Zora spearmen mounted on like Big Octos, and then we have the Manhunters of Bellum, armored Manhunters. They're using the same armor as the Manhunters in the Raider army that use the Zora armor and the Zora weapon. Okay, and then we have the Moblin Settlers, the same armor as before. Start battle. This time the AI will control both armies. So we'll watch the battle. Deployment. So the Kamek mode won't probably work, unfortunately. So we haven't restarted the game. Place this unit in the far back. It will retreat when the battle starts. Take a look at the army. So balance of power. The balance of forces is evenly matched. Okay, in the units. We have the Outrunners here, javelin throwing, River Zora. And then they have a lot of infantry. Their army is mostly infantry, so they have Geosards, the unarmored River Knights, the River Zora. Here they are the Empire of Bellum. They were supposed to have River Zora in their army, maybe not the entire army, but if we didn't have the Empire of Bellum roster, we used mostly River Zora. Okay, then we have the Cyclops Q. We have the River Knights, armored Geosards, with axes and armor. And we have the heavily armored ones with golden armor, based on the hero Sarusef, or King Sarusef of the River Zora. Made a unit of that hero. Same with this guy based on Gerudo Khan. It's a Cyclops Q with a helmet and two weapons in his hand. And we have the Manhunters, the ordinary unit of the River Zora, the spearmen. Then we have the Swampmen. They are like the berserkers of the River Zora. They are like naked, have no armor or anything. Use their claws kill their enemies and their teeth. We have the cannibals. They are also very feral. Some of them have some leather armor, and others are almost naked. They also use their claws and teeth to attack their enemies. And we have the raiders wearing different armors, like this green Zora armor here, repainted Zora armor the original Zora army was golden. So they've been repainted into green, and it's not perfect. It's actually old and damaged. They have no armor on the backs, unlike the Zora units of Hyrule War. And they do have some Gerudo armor and Gerudo weapons. They have some Zora weapons, Moblin armor, Lyssalfos armor. It's a mix between Moblins, Lyssalfos, Zora, and Gerudo armors and weapons. Then with the Zora spearman. And we have the Manhunters of Bellum, entirely clad in the Zora armor with the Zora weapon. It fits their armored unit here, so didn't have the one reviewed for Empire of Bellum. So this is like a replacer of the intended unit. And we have the battle platforms. It actually mounted Fluid Masters of Bellum, which is like using the model of Princess Zukuf, the River Zora. As I thought she fit. They were supposed to have a mage unit of some kind. It looked similar to the Zukuf, but with a different, instead of armor she would have a robe, and instead of this weapon she would have a staff. But otherwise it was a similar unit, probably not mounted. We have the Big Octo Broodmother, Siege. They shoot giant nuts at enemies. Can be compared to cannonballs. And we have the Cobble Outrunners, mounted javelin throwers. And we have the Big Octo Riders of Bellum, spearmen mounted on Big Octos. So they are spear cavalry. We have the Cobble Dragoons, they are also spear cavalry. The Manhunters mounted on cue balls, but they have heavy armor, unlike the others. And we have that's all of the units there. We have a unit over here too. No, we don't. Okay. We were supposed to have another cavalry unit, I think. Cobble Outrunners. No, they were supposed to have one. Cobble Dragoons, but I think they should have a dismounted melee unit too. Maybe they don't. Okay, forgot to add it. So they have a unit that is melee, that is mounted but has no armor, I believe. And then they have their Siege, solar catapults of Bellum. The difference is that the crew has armor, unlike in Hyrule War. Then we have the unit, the Fluidbringers of Bellum, leading the army. The Princess Zukuf model. It was the most suitable for a mage. So yeah, the Empire of Bellum were supposed to have River Zora troops in their army, including units that looked similar to the ones based on heroes, the armored ones. Like they were supposed to have a new melee unit that had golden armor and an axe as a weapon. They were supposed to have more heavily armored Cyclops Q, but it would have more armor than just a helmet. And they were supposed to have heavily armored Manhunters and Cobble Dragoons. They were supposed to have a golden armor and a different weapon. No, the same weapon, but golden armor. Okay. So I had some trouble speaking today. Feel a bit dry in my throat. Alright, but we'll fight this battle. I will control both armies. So this is a placeholder army for the unfinished Empire of Bellum army. had enough River Zora troops to be able to add it. I used to add it to have more than one army for New Hyrule to fight, and in the sea battles they can actually use most of their units. Only 5 units are cut from the sea battles, and they swim and stuff, so of course it was worth it to add the Empire of Bellum troops, the River Zora troops. But the Moblin army, they are also placeholder and were added to give New Hyrule some opponents on land. In sea battles the Moblins only have their ships, while the River Zora units of the Empire of Bellum, they they have almost all their units in the sea battles too. So they are really cool in the sea battles, and New Hyrule has their intended army in the sea battles and on land, with some additional heroes, and they added some additional Lanayru troops to the sea battles, because it made sense for them to have some more sea units and fighting the Empire of Bellum, or the River Zora units of the Empire of Bellum. Okay, let's start the battle. Fuck, it crashed for some reason. I have fought this battle before, so I don't know why it crashed. You'll have to redo everything. See you soon. Hello, Mr. Niren here. Welcome to GreatSea War. We are back in the battle. We are about to play a battle between the Empire of Bellum, using mostly River Zora troops, including some new troops compared to the army in Hyrule War. We already checked the army before the crash, and now we're back in the battle. We are about to start it. It might crash again. If it crashes again, it's because we are playing using the Steam version. Because I played this battle on the DVD version and I didn't have a crash. It crashed the last time I clicked start battle, so we'll see. It didn't crash this time, but it might crash. We'll see. So the Moblin army, let's take a look at it. So they have the Yuk Smashers, additional unit added to their roster, as the Yuk faction only had 1 unit, so it wasn't worth it to keep it to the Yuk faction. We are a similar unit to the Moblins. By the way, they have the Horde formation here. I removed the Horde formation from all units in Hyrule War. But this is GreatSea War demo, so I forgot to do it here. We do not have campaign in this demo anyway, so there won't be a problem with them not being able to to reinforce an army on the battlefield. When you play custom battles, all the armies start on the battlefield from the start, so it's not a problem with the Horde formation. But in Hyrule War and other mods, if you play a campaign and have the Horde formation for a unit, then they will get stuck when they are about to join battles most of the time. So the Moblin archers, suicide blins, throwing small grenades, and we have the forest blins throwing these large javelins or spears at enemies, and we have the Moblin oxes with giant bombs they throw at the enemies. And then we have the armored Moblin grunts based on the captain. They're really cool. They're also a unit in Hyrule War Classic Ultimate. I believe I added it to Hyrule War Classic Ultimate back in 2019. They have the ordinary Moblin grunts. They have lighter armor than the armored ones. They have leather armor, while the others have like a more heavy variant of the armor. I have the Mob of Moblins. They are very lightly armored, have no leather armor. They are more like wearing cloth armor or something, or being unarmed. And we have the Oceanblins, the crew of the new faction of the Moblin Settlers, the intended crew. Okay, made into their own unit. The Yuk Smasher Mercenaries, Hyrule War. Okay, and we have the big blins, the giant Moblins. Hardly have any armor. They do not have an armor, they have like no armor at all. And we have the shield blins, the female Moblins, based on the hero Ugalon of Hyrule War, the Moblin hero, female hero. So it's a female unit with shield and spear, reminiscent of shield maidens. So Moblin versions of Shield Maidens. We have the Moblin Swarms. They are many but very small. Smallest unit in the Moblin army. And we have the Bokoblin Troopers, renamed to Bokoblin Watch here, which was an intended unit. And we have the Doom Knights of Ganon. It's big, they are as large as King Ganon himself, the leader of the Moblins in Hyrule War. But they are their own unit, called the Doom Knights of Ganon, using the Moblin model of Demise, a demon hero of the Moblins in Hyrule War. There are 3 models of Demise. One Moblin model, this one, has never been in a mod before, but was in the files of Hyrule War already in 2012. But that version didn't work. It had to be rigged in order to make it work, which Bant Shiften did, the main modeler of Warcraft War. So he rigged this model recently in October 2023, and I was able to add it as a new unit for GreatSea War. And the Moblin Settlers, we have the Boar Riders, Moblin Troopers or Moblin Archers on boars. So we have Boar Riders here. And then we have the Siege, the Icanian Mortar, here called the Mortar Battery, with the Oceanblins crew. Unique projectile, and we have the Flaming Ballistas of the Dark Knight Legion here with an Oceanblins crew. And we have the Moblin Chieftains using the model of the Moblin General in battle. And that's it. The Moblin army. See if it will crash or not. We are using the Kamek mod and the Total War camera, so you can zoom in more now on the units than previously. This is the only Moblin unit that looks like an actual Moblin Settlers unit. They are a different breed of Moblins, or were intended to be. Some units from the Moblin roster would be available for their faction too. Evil Outrunners, the Javelin Throwing Cavalry, River Zora. Took out some of the giant Doom Knights of Ganon. There's 6 of them. They already lost a few. So the Moblin Settlers are the only ones with giants in this demo. The other factions have really good range units, unlike the Moblin Settlers. Moblin Settlers have the best melee cavalry. They count as melee cavalry. Of course, the Empire of Bellum and the River Zora infantry is really good. Can rival the Moblins. Brutality and size. I believe they are even bigger than the Moblins. And half the Moblin roster is very weak and small too. But yeah, the range units of the Empire of Bellum and New Hyrule are much better than the Moblins. Ritos, I believe the original Moblin Settler army would have had really good range units too, like hand cannoneers, giant Moblins with cannons in their hands, and a different unit, I don't remember exactly what it was, but they had 2 really good range units. They also had birds with mini-blins on them, dropping bombs. So yeah, they would have been better in terms of ranged troops if they had had the intended army. It was never rigged, but the models were created. Oceanblins of the Moblins versus the River Knights, the Empire of Bellum. You can see that the River Knights are bigger than even the Moblin Grunts and the Oceanblins. The River Zora are really big, at least the male ones. The general model for the Moblins fighting the King Sarusef model. In essence, the Moblin Chieftains, based on the General of the Moblins, versus the River Knights of Bellum, or Geosword Knights of Bellum, based on the model of King Sarusef of the River Zora. You can see that the River Zora are quite a bit larger than the Moblins. Both armies are controlled by the AI. Will retreat with our troops. Raiders are broken. Same with the River Knights over there. Balance of power. 48% of the Moblin army, Moblin Settler army, has been defeated. 50%. 47% of the Empire of Bellum army. So they are very even. Actually, very even. You can see that it's very even also in the meter, the balance of power meter there. Killed about the same. So these factions are actually even. With the New Hyrule faction, they would win if they had one more. If they had 2 pistolman units, and they would lose if they didn't. And it wasn't an even fight. The one that won would always win. With quite an advantage at the end of the battle. The River Zora units here fighting for the Empire of Bellum, they are having an even match with the Moblin Settlers and their Moblin units. So they were very balanced, which is good. Of course, the Zoras, they had way better ranged units. Their infantry are similar in quality. The Moblins used to have more, I believe, good infantry units in the battle. So they added very few of their weak troops, the smaller troops. Seems the Empire of Bellum army are routing. We are controlling the Empire of Bellum, and they seem to be losing. We lost 65%. While the enemy has lost 59%, the Moblin Settlers. The Moblin Settlers are winning the battle, which is surprising. Thought they would win thanks to their ranged units. Maybe they did a poor job firing their projectiles. Alright, we'll probably have a bonus battle as a final land battle. We'll fight the Empire of Bellum versus New Hyrule, but then we'll probably fight some bonus battles against the Gerudo Pirates. They also have a land army, even though I never finished it as I had intended, because I thought it was uninspiring. They didn't really have any unique troops. They are using only Hyrule War troops. They do have unique units. I added some new ones. One new one actually. Based on another hero. We're gonna do more unique variations for them, but I never did. So I lost interest in doing that. We're happy with the Moblin Settlers, the Empire of Bellum and New Hyrule. New Hyrule is the only one using an actual army intended for GreatSea Bellum after all. The others are just there to spice things up, and the River Zora units, I want to see them in the sea battles where they can swim and stuff. Cube all outrunners attacking the Moblin swarms over there. Here we have some Moblin troopers, they're archers. Yeah, I think the Moblin Settlers have won. Kill 65%. Yeah, I mean we have killed 65% and the Moblin Settlers killed 74%. The Zora army or the Bellum army. Cyclops Q are really big too. Quite a bit larger or taller. And the Oceanblins. Yeah, I fought another battle as the Empire of Bellum previously, a few weeks ago, where I let A control both factions and the Empire of Bellum won easily. So it was probably thanks to the Doom Knights of Ganon that it didn't go that easy this time, because they didn't have them previously when I fought the battle. They had everything else. And the Bellum faction won. So the Doom Knights of Ganon probably did make a difference in the battle. Oh, they have one of the big broodmothers here, but it's running amok. Can't control it. Yeah, seems the Moblins have won. Oh, here we have the unit of Cyclops Q of Bellum. Yeah, I'm surprised that the Moblin Settlers seem to be winning. Thought they would lose. Some outrunners still firing javelins at the enemy, but they are being fired at by one of the bombers. The Moblin Oxes over there. Now they broke. Easily break when they are fired at with bombs, grenades or whatever. Bombs in Zelda, I believe. Yeah. Even at this unit I'm still lost. Which is surprising. It's a mage unit. The Moblin troopers. They're archers. We have some river knights. They haven't fled yet. They are shaken. Oh, mage unit started to fire on these Moblin Oxes. Might be that unit, the battle platform. Might be. Kills at 6% of the Moblin Settlers and lost 7%. The Empire of Bellum troops. They still seem to be winning. There is still possibility of turning things around, you'll see. runners. They are not broken yet. They return to battle. Start to throw their javelins. The enemy. The Moblin troopers over here. We get aid from the battle platform, so we could still win. The mages are really good. Don't know if it's the battle platform or if it's the mage unit. Floodbringers of Bellum, yeah, it's the mage unit. Throwing that fluid projectile at enemies. So yeah, the point of adding all these new units based on the heroes are that I wanted the faction to be a bit different from the River Zora, and I also wanted them to be stronger than the River Zora. Like all the others, they are supposed to be stronger here because it's a later era taking place after Hyrule War. So they should be more modern, better siege engines, better troops, and so on. Yeah, this faction has the same music as the River Zora. Maybe some new tracks, but for the most part it's the same music as from Hyrule Story when you saw the clips of the River Zora. And they fought the Zora's domain and destroyed it. The Empire of Bellum started to win, killed 81% of the Moblin Settlers, lost 89% of their own troops. The Moblin Settlers are still leading the balance of power meter, but I don't know if they will be able to win anymore. Yeah, the Moblin Moxes have large bombs that they throw. Well, the Suicide Blins have way smaller ones. Took forever. Let's hurry up. Here I have some Moblin troops that aren't broken. Large troops. Moblin grunts. Armored Moblin grunts. Oceanblins troopers or whatever. The Oceanblins, they are not defeated yet. They still have a lot of infantry over here. Marching towards the Zora army. The Empire of Bellum. Takes forever because they do not move towards the actual enemies. Finally they are about to face off. The Moblins here. We have the Outrunner, Javelin throwers facing off against the Oceanblins. They will lose that melee fight. They are too few and are not very good in melee. They are not as good as the Manhunters in melee. And even if they were, they would be destroyed. Because the Manhunters are worse than the Oceanblins, and the Oceanblins are worse than the Oceanblins, you saw there. So this unit is ranged to have a unique projectile. These guys are moving back because they want to reposition themselves so they can fire a projectile. They don't want to be in melee. Probably the same is true for these guys. They want to fire on the enemy. They are broken. Others are not broken. As long as they get to fire at the enemy, they might still be able to win. Yeah, they have started to fire. We see their beam over there. They are really long range too. And can cut through enemies and penetrate different lines of enemies. Moblin Settlers have the numerical advantage, but the Empire of Bellum have projectile advantage. We'll see if they will be able to turn things around. They will lose if the mages end up in a melee. Here's the projectile of the Cyclops Q. It's also unique, but not as deadly as the other one. These guys can throw javelins, all kinds of spears at enemies. They're more deadly than the Outrunners. They have larger spears that they throw, just not as many. So yeah, we need to fight a battle between New Hyrule and the Empire of Bellum too. You'll probably control New Hyrule and Tetra. They are the main faction of the demo. The only one with proper heroes and all their units as they were intended. Plus with some additionals, of course. The 9% of the Moblin Settler army has been killed 93% of the Empire of Bellum army. So Moblin Settlers are still leading, but soon the balance of power meter has moved. It's almost at the middle again. I think the Empire of Bellum might actually be able to turn this around thanks to that mage unit. No, they ended up in a melee now. Then they might actually lose. They still do not have enough troops to fight the remaining Moblins in melee. The Moblin Settlers have sent in the big blins here. Giant Moblins. Giant units of Moblins. They're not as big as the Doom Knights of Ganon, but they are like an ordinary unit of larger Moblins than the normal grunts. Yeah, they took out the mage, the Floodbringers of Bellum, leading to their defeat. Okay, so this unit used the model of Princess Zuko, here of the River Zora in Hyrule War. Close defeat, so the Empire of Bellum didn't have any symbol. Could have added I was gonna add the River Zora symbol to them, but forgot to do it. Okay, close defeat. And we can see that Captain Zoglark of the Empire of Bellum had 1465 River Zora, lost 1196, have 269 remaining. After the battle they killed 634 men, so they lost less than they killed, which is good, so they did a good job in the battle, and they took 118 prisoner. The Moblin Settlers had 2035 Moblins in the battle, lost 1502. Have 533 remaining after the battle. They killed 699, took 292 prisoners. They did a much worse job at killing troops and such, and have bigger losses too, but they still won the battle. See the statistics. The Floodbringers of Bellum killed 502 of the enemies. They were really good, as expected. Geosard Knights of Bellum killed 67. The Cobble Dragoons, melee cavalry, killed 100. Cobble Outrunners, the melee ranged unit, killed 73. And Manhunters killed 39. Begooked Riders of Bellum killed 68. River Knights killed 136. Siege Platform, Begooked Siege Platform killed 141. And the Begooked Broodmother killed 50. Okay. Yeah. Thanks for watching. See you in another video. Bye.